Hi there, it's Jilinda here, and I'm down at my favourite place again, down at the rocks here at Clifton Beach where I live. I like to do these reflections videos. I call them my On the Rocks reflections at the end of each month. And yes, it's only a little while since I did the last one because, as I said last time, I recorded the last one on the 19th of April, about 3 weeks late, to do the end of the month March reflection because I had a health issue. So a few weeks later, here we are. It's actually the end of April, and a really lovely time of the afternoon to come down here, take it slowly, reflect and think about what are some of the things, what are the key things that I could share with you that perhaps I've achieved, that I've learnt, and that I can help others grow and evolve with. And that's the reason I do these videos. So I've come up with 3 things, and it's come from the frustration and what I talked about in my last video was that damn unplanned, unwanted disruption that happens sometimes that, you know, takes a little bit of patience to get through. So in flipping that, or in taking that and evolving it further into what's the lessons from this, because in my experience through many changes in life, I have always found that crisis leads to an opportunity to learn something from it. And here's the things I'm taking away from what's happened in the last 6 weeks or so in relation to my health issues and reviving up, or rising up if you like, from that as I gain my strength again. So number 1, I've learned to be realistic, and in rejigging what I've got to do going forward, having lost some weeks of what I was planning to do, instead of trying to cram everything into a shorter time frame and still meet deadlines, I've become really realistic about timelines. And I've taken on board a lesson, a learning that I knew from some time ago that I keep having to be reminded of, and that is the word and the acronym FOCUS. The acronym of FOCUS is follow one course of action until successful. And so I've decided to basically cancel all other work plans until the end of June and just focus on one thing that I know that I can achieve as I'm recovering. And that is my writing. So I'm very focused at the moment on writing and completing my first draft off to the editor of the book Impactful Not Invisible. So more on that soon. But in actually cancelling, if you like, some of the other work, I do need to let you know, because it's in some of my previous videos, that at this stage I've cancelled the Fabulous You retreat on the 30th, that was going to be on the 31st of May, until I can find dates a little bit further on in the year, so more on that later. So that's the first thing, be realistic. The second thing is I'm really into the slow movement. And by that, I mean slowing down so that there's less frustration, there's less impatience, and less clock watching. And I'm getting this from a book called In Praise of Slow, written by Carl Honoré. I've had this book for a while, and like I do with a lot of books, I open them when I first get them, I flip through them, I sometimes have 3 or 4 or 6 on the go at a time, and haven't really totally immersed myself in this book from, you know, start to finish until now, and I'm really enjoying it. And one of the things I'm really taking from that is, we used to think slow was a bad thing, you know, slow. If someone's slow, it was usually not what you'd say a compliment. And so we often think of, if we slow down, we're stopping, or we're going at snail pace. And that's not what it's about, or not what the book's core message is about. It's actually about balance. It's about finding where are the things that we do still need to obviously run to the clock, timelines, which would be things like, you know, you've got to get to your flight on time, you've got to catch the bus on time or the train on time, and those kind of things are strict timelines. But there's so many other things in our life where it doesn't need to be such a clock-watching, strict, rigid timeline that stops us from fully immersing into, you know, areas where we would capture so much more, do so much better, achieve so much more if we spend a bit more time in that moment. So I'm really embracing the slow movement, and writing little bits on that on my Facebook posts as we go. So number 1 was realistic, number 2 was slowing down, and slowing down where I can allow myself to really immerse. So the two of those work really well together at the moment while I'm writing my book. Now the third one is self-care. Obviously when you've had a health scare and a bit of a health issue, it's really important to rejig your self-care. I've been doing that a lot in the last couple of years, but really honing in on, hang on, is it time for me to do a little bit more in the back end of this recovery, so that when it comes to the 1st of July, I'm good to go and I've had that real rejuvenation and refresh. So yes, I've leaned into, if you like, or immersed myself into planning a self-care trip like I did last year actually, to Bali, and I'm doing that in June. So my focus for May will be lots of writing, getting it to that rough draft stage where I want, and then taking off to Bali and going to my Bali Bliss retreat and have a full immersion, a slowness, a rehabilitation, if you like, with lots of massage, lots of yoga, lots of meditation, and just completely rejuvenate so that I can rise up in July. So there's some of the lessons, the 3 key things that I took from what I've just been through in April, end of March and April. And I hope that resonates with you, and there's some things that perhaps make you think also about, are you being realistic in your time frames, in what you're planning? Do you need to slow down a bit more where you can and where it's really helpful, and you would probably succeed even more so if you slow down a little? And how's your self-care? So until the end of next month, I won't be quite in Bali yet, so I should do my next one here, and then I'll talk to you from Bali. So until next time, have an awesome week. Bye for now.